on to the next one. Okay, for the next book that I'm going to review is Terry Pratchett's Wyrd Sisters, which is apparently, when I looked it up on Goodreads, because I've been putting stuff on Goodreads, it's the second book in the series. Like there's not technical series, but basically each of the books kind of revolves around a specific like people, and Wyrd Sisters revolves around witches, because there's witches and wizards, and there's a lot of fantastical things going on in the Discworld, because it's a very fantastical place, but it's also like got parallels to the real world and all that. Like there's stuff they talk about where you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like a very like Middle Ages type thing, but it's because it's got some elements in there where it makes fun of things like from current day and all that. But apparently this is book 2. I gotta figure out what book 1 is, because while they're not directly connected, they still have the same like cast of characters, so it'll talk a little bit about stuff that happened like from the previous book, or it'll touch upon that, but you don't technically have to read them in any specific order for them to make sense. They're still their own self-contained stories. But yeah, you basically follow along as these 3 witches are trying to help out a kingdom, but indirectly, because you're not really supposed to do that, and also because most witches don't care one way or another as long as they are able to keep doing their thing and enjoying their craft in peace, basically. But it's quite good, and there's quite a twist at the end that I wasn't really expecting, but also I was like, you know what, that actually makes a lot of sense. But leading up to it, there's just a lot of there's a lot of pretty cool stuff, and the way that they do magic in the Discworld, I kind of appreciate, because it's not like, well, I mean, it can be super overpowering, but usually that's only if like somebody's using something they're not supposed to, or royally screwed up a spell or something. So it's kind of nice seeing them get through this without like just magicking everything. Like, they're witches, but they kind of do things their own way. But yeah, I really liked it, and this was the first time I read this book, was like just last week, and I went through it in like 2.5 days maybe, because I was just sitting here like, I need to know what happens next, or what terrible things are they going to get into, what are they going to do to people. But very good. Wyrd Sisters, I definitely give it a read. Like I said, if you like Terry Pratchett, you're probably gonna like all of his books. Like, so far, I haven't run into a Terry Pratchett book that I didn't like. Like, I should probably do a quick book review on Dodger, because I read Dodger, and Dodger is nothing like the Discworld books. Like, these are fantastical, satirical adventures, and Dodger is more realistic. I mean, it's set in, like, older, I think, like, London or somewhere around there, but it doesn't have the same humor in these books, but it still manages to have, like, a lot of bright spots in it, and it's just a good read. I don't know. I also learned a lot of British isms that I didn't know before, so that's another reason to read these books. You learn things you hadn't thought about. Anyway, yeah, that's Wyrd Sisters. Highly recommend. Very good. Magical hijinks, witches, you know, good stuff.